If you're watching this on May 15th, you're right on time. If it's a day later, you still need to hear this. Because this week, the sky doesn't whisper, it shouts. And if you're not listening, you're choosing to stay stuck when the universe is handing you the map out. This isn't just another forecast. This is a warning and a gift. What's coming between May 15th and 21st is not random. These aren't soft cosmic suggestions. These are sharp, deliberate turning points. The kind that will either elevate you or expose every place you've been pretending. You think you have time. You don't. Not in the way you used to. And if you're planning to watch this halfway, scroll through it or dismiss it because you're too busy. You're already making the mistake this video was made to stop you from making. You've been asking for a sign. This is it. This is the week where the dream you prayed for starts testing you. Not gently, but thoroughly. And if you're not prepared, you could walk straight into the exact cycle you swore you were done with. Now let me be clear. I debated filming this. What I'm about to say, especially at the end, might not be what I'm supposed to say on camera, but I will. Because some of you are already slipping, already forgetting, already numb again, and I'm not here to let that happen without a fight. So like this video if you want to anchor into something deeper, subscribe if you're done floating in distraction, and drop the number 77 in the comments. Not for the algorithm, for the universe, for you, for whoever else needs to see this and might miss it unless you help amplify it. Because what's happening this week isn't just astrology, it's alignment. This is the moment you've been asking for your entire life. And yes, it might hurt. Yes, it might look like chaos. But that's how the universe breaks you open when you've refused to evolve softly. This energy is pressure. This energy is truth. And what you do with it decides what comes next. Not in theory, in reality. So open your eyes, no more distractions. This is the ignition point, the shift from potential to purpose. And I'm going to walk you through it, day by day. You need to understand what's happening. Every event, every silence, every message. Because nothing this week is random, nothing is soft, but everything, if met with intention, can change everything. Number 1, May 15th, the 555 portal. And the next thing you need to understand, really understand, is what May 15th actually is. Not a date, not just Thursday, not just another page on the calendar. This is the 555 portal. And if you think that sounds like spiritual fluff or internet hype, you've already missed the point. This is your soul's alarm clock, and it just went off. Numerology doesn't lie. The number 5 is the number of movement, of chaos, of evolution. It breaks patterns. It doesn't ask permission. It creates friction, so you finally choose. On May 15th, 2025, we're looking at a rare alignment, 3 5s stacked in sequence. That's not random. That's not cute. That's cosmic architecture, designed to shake the foundations of everything you've been doing on autopilot. So let me ask you, when the portal opens, do you run through it, or do you freeze, hoping clarity feels more comfortable? Because this energy isn't warm. It isn't polite, it's disruptive. But it's disruptive for a reason. The 555 portal doesn't arrive to decorate your life. It arrives to dismantle what no longer belongs in your next chapter. It's here to take the job you hate, the relationship you fake, the habits you keep just to numb yourself and light them up. Not to punish you, to free you. And that freedom, it won't come wrapped in ease. It'll come in the form of decisions you're scared to make. Conversations you've been avoiding, paths you've been watching from a distance, but too afraid to walk. That's what today is. It's not a moment to sit back and see what happens. It's the day you either leap or you anchor yourself into another cycle that will look just like the one you begged to escape. And if you're watching this after May 15th, don't breathe a sigh of relief. Ask yourself something harder. Did you hesitate? Did you scroll through the discomfort? Did you rationalize your fear? Because hesitation on a portal day isn't just a delay, it's a redirection. It changes the path. Not permanently, but enough to cost you momentum you may not get back easily. This portal will not hold your hand. It will not wait for you to be more ready. It only needs one thing: your willingness to step into what's next, even if you don't have a map. You asked for change. This is what it looks like. Now step through the fire or step back into the loop. Number 2, May 16th, Mercury conjunct Uranus. And the next thing you need to brace for is impact. Because on May 16th, Mercury, the planet of thought, speech, and truth, collides with Uranus, the planet of shocks, rebellion, and awakening. This is not subtle, this is not quiet, this is a mental earthquake. And it doesn't care if you're ready, it cares if you're real. This is the day of divine disruption. Mercury conjunct Uranus sends truth like lightning through your system. Conversations come out of nowhere. Thoughts you've buried rise like thunder. Gut instincts roar. Secrets slip out. Patterns click into place. And just when you think you understand what's going on, something breaks open again. So what will you do when that clarity hits? Because it will, and it may not come in soft whispers. It may come as a confrontation, a text you didn't expect, a dream that shakes you awake, a truth from someone's mouth, or worse, from your own, that you can't take back. That's the thing about Mercury-Uranus. It doesn't give you time to prepare. It hands you a mirror and dares you to look. Fast, raw, unfiltered. And here's the mistake most people make. They talk themselves out of what's true. They rationalize their way back into comfort. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe I'm being dramatic. But that's not humility. That's fear dressed up as logic. This is not the day to ignore your instincts. This is not the day to brush off the weird feeling in your chest. When Mercury and Uranus meet, truth doesn't knock. It crashes through the door. You either welcome it or you pretend not to hear it, knowing damn well it's already rearranging everything behind the scenes. And yes, it might sting. Some truths aren't comfortable, but they're never cruel. They're course corrections, warnings, wake-up calls. And if you can sit with what shows up today instead of running from it, you'll find something most people miss: clarity with direction. This is your mental breakthrough, but it only works if you stop interrupting your own wisdom. Let the lightning come. Let it strike. Because what shocks you today might be the exact jolt that unlocks you tomorrow. Don't close the door on truth just because it knocked too loud. Open it, listen, and choose what's real, even if it terrifies you. Number 3, May 17th, Sun conjunct Uranus. And the next wave hits even harder, because now it's not just your thoughts being disrupted, it's you. On May 17th, the Sun conjuncts Uranus, and this isn't just mental clarity, it's a full identity detonation. The Sun is who you are, your essence, your ego, your core purpose. Uranus is the great disruptor, the liberator, the wild card that doesn't play by the rules. And when these two meet, something inside you either breaks apart or breaks free. This isn't a normal day. This is a you can't pretend anymore day. The mask you've been wearing, the role you've been performing, the expectations you've been crumbling under, all of it starts to crack, not because you're failing, but because you're done pretending it fits. Uranus brings that rebel energy, that itch, that sudden knowing, the one that says, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep being this. You might feel restless, on edge. You might wake up and think, I need to quit this job, leave this relationship, change everything. And maybe you're not wrong, but don't confuse urgency with recklessness. This isn't about burning down your life on a whim. It's about finally hearing the scream beneath your silence and not ignoring it this time. If you feel triggered today, if you feel like everything is pressuring you from the inside out, that's not weakness. That's the friction of transformation. You're outgrowing something, and the longer you fight it, the more painful it becomes. This isn't the universe being cruel. This is your soul trying to shake you out of who you thought you were, so you can step into who you really are. Let go of control. Stop micromanaging your becoming. Stop holding on to the version of you that fit a life you no longer want. Uranus doesn't destroy to harm, it destroys to free, to make room, to burn the lies out of your identity so the truth can finally have a voice. So if you're spiraling today, good. That means it's working. That means the old shell is cracking. Trust it. Because what collapses now isn't the end. It's the gateway, the beginning of a version of you who doesn't beg to be accepted, but demands to be aligned. Let it shake, let it fall, and this time, don't stop it. Number 4, May 18th. The silence isn't empty, it's sacred. And the next moment might look like nothing, but it's everything. May 18th. No major transits, no cosmic explosions, no flashy alignments, just silence. But don't be fooled. This isn't absence. This is sacred space. The universe didn't forget to move today. It's giving you the space to digest what already shook you to the core. Because here's the truth no one talks about. Not every breakthrough happens in chaos. Some happen in the quiet, after the storm, after the unraveling, when the dust starts to settle and you're finally forced to sit with what you've become. This is not a break. It's not a buffer. It's the echo chamber of your evolution. Everything from May 15th to 17th is still pulsing through you. Your mind, your identity, your sense of truth have been shattered and rewired. And today, that energy starts to settle into the bones. Or it doesn't, if you keep running. Most people will panic in this silence. They'll distract, scroll, binge, busy themselves just to feel like they're doing something. But that's the trap, because real integration looks like stillness, like being quiet enough to hear yourself again, to hear what the portal stirred, what the truth revealed, what the cracks in your identity are trying to whisper before you plaster over them again. This isn't a day for noise. It's a day for embodiment. What did you learn this week? What part of you tried to rise that you immediately silenced? What truth knocked the air out of your chest? And have you made space for it to land yet? If you waste this day by ignoring it, you're throwing away the clarity you begged for. You're interrupting a sacred recalibration. And don't kid yourself. If you skip integration, transformation slips through your fingers. Every insight becomes dust without stillness to ground it. So sit in the silence, not to escape, but to hear the message beneath the noise, to let your soul catch up with your mind, to let the vibration of change root itself in your body. Because this quiet, it's not empty, it's alignment in process, and if you can hold space for it, really hold it, you won't need another sign. You'll become one. Number 5, May 19th. Moon enters Aquarius, and the next shift, on May 19th, isn't loud, but it's sharp. The moon enters Aquarius, and with it comes a drastic change in emotional tone. After days of deep internal tremors, of mental lightning and ego-level shakeups, this energy moves upward, into the head, into the future, into the skies of possibility. But don't get it twisted. This isn't emotional detachment. This is emotional intelligence, if you use it right. Aquarius doesn't drown in feelings. It studies them. It asks questions. It zooms out. This is the sign that teaches you how to take your pain, your breakthroughs, your confusion, and see it through the lens of clarity, vision, and innovation. But only if you're honest. Because the trap today isn't coldness. It's numbing disguised as strategy, bypassing dressed up as brilliance. Yes, you may feel more distant. Yes, you might feel like your heart just took a backseat to your brain. But that's not detachment. It's space. And space is powerful. It lets you breathe. It lets you observe instead of react. But use it wisely or you'll disconnect completely. From people, from process, from the feelings that were rising just days ago that still need to be honored, even as you analyze them. Don't run back to your head just because your heart started burning. Don't write off your emotions as too much just because now you've got the language to explain them away. Aquarius isn't about emotional shutdown. It's about emotional altitude. Seeing your life not just from the ground level, but from the vision level. This is the day to reflect with brilliance, to organize what you've learned, to make space for vision building. What will you do with the truth you unearthed? What systems need to change? What new story do you now need to write? And here's the secret most miss. Aquarius is also about community, connection, shared purpose. You don't have to do this alone, not anymore. So reach out, share what's alive in you, build with those who see you clearly, not those who validate the mask. You're not detaching, you're upgrading. And from this altitude, everything looks different. Just don't forget the ground you came from. Feel smarter, think bigger, and build forward. The vision is yours, but only if you're grounded enough to carry it. Number 6, May 20th. Sun enters Gemini, and the next shift brings a whole new frequency, fast, electric, unpredictable. On May 20th, the Sun enters Gemini, and suddenly everything feels like it's in motion again. After the raw emotional work, the silence, the truth-telling, and identity cracks, you now enter the domain of air, ideas, words, thought. But don't get too comfortable. Gemini isn't just light and breezy, it's chaotic if you're not aligned. This is where the distractions come dressed as inspiration. The noise disguises itself as opportunity. You'll feel it, that pull to say yes to everything, to start a dozen new projects, to reach out, scroll endlessly, talk yourself in circles, flirt with potential but never actually commit. That's the shadow of Gemini, and it's seductive. But this moment is not about scattering your energy. It's about using your words like weapons of creation. It's about focus, intention, precision. Gemini energy is powerful when directed, dangerous when left to wander. And right now, the universe is testing you. Can you stay aligned in the middle of 1,000 ideas? Can you choose what matters? Or will you spin out chasing everything shiny, but building nothing real? This is the season of duality, of paradox, light and dark, old thoughts and new truths colliding. You'll want to learn, talk, engage. But you must ask yourself, am I consuming or creating? Are you using your words to bring something to life or to escape what you don't want to face? Because here's what they won't tell you about Gemini. Words are spells. Language is magic. What you say, what you write, what you declare in this moment, it starts shaping your next chapter. And if you're just speaking to be heard, just talking to stay distracted, you're wasting power that could have rewritten your timeline. You've been preparing for this. You've burned away the lies. You've shaken the foundation. You've stared into the mirror and asked the hard questions. Now is the time to speak from that place, to put language to the version of you that's rising, to ask for what you actually want, to write the truth, to reach out to the right people, to build the connections that reflect your new frequency, not the old one you barely escaped. Don't chase, don't scatter, steer. This is air beneath your wings. It will carry you forward, but only if you're holding a direction. You don't have to know every step, but you do have to pick a path. And once you do, speak it, write it, anchor it with words that mean something. Gemini is here to help you fly, but if you don't guide the current, it will toss you like a leaf in the wind. Choose wisely, speak clearly. This isn't just the start of a new season. It's the activation of your next chapter, one word at a time. Number 7, May 21st. Another quiet day or a missed message? And the next moment might feel like nothing. Again, another quiet day. May 21st doesn't bring big transits, no thunder in the sky, no fireworks. But don't be fooled. Stillness isn't absence. This isn't just a pause, it's a mirror. And what it reflects depends entirely on what you've done with the week behind you. Because this is the day when the consequences land. The energy has moved, the alignments hit, the portal opened, the truths arrived, the shakeups happened, and now you sit with it. This is when the ripple starts to show, not loud, but in whispers, in discomfort, in clarity, in tension, in peace. If you've been pretending, avoiding, numbing, hiding, this is where that avoidance starts to take shape. You'll feel it in your body, that agitation, that anxiety, that exhaustion you can't quite explain. That's not the world turning on you. That's your soul reminding you what you ignored, what you left unspoken, what you were too scared to act on when it counted. But if you showed up, if you listened, if you cracked open, if you honored the call, then this day will feel different, like breath, like sunrise, like something real has shifted, even if you can't fully see it yet. This is the space where you start to walk different, where the new timeline you unlock begins to root itself into your reality, quietly, steadily, powerfully. Don't mistake this silence for nothing. It is the after, the settling, the soft beginning of what you just chose. So take this day seriously, reflect, be honest. Don't look for more signs until you've honored the ones you were already given. The universe isn't quiet. It's just waiting to see what you do next. Number 8, the ritual you can't skip, even if you're late. And the next part, this is where everything either locks in or slips away. The ritual, the most overlooked, underestimated, and yet absolutely essential step of transformation. Because all the portals, all the shakeups, all the revelations mean nothing if you don't anchor them. Integration doesn't happen just because you had a breakthrough. It happens because you chose to embody it. And embodiment requires ritual, not performance, not aesthetic, but intention, stillness, presence, permission. This isn't about crystals on a windowsill or moon water in a mason jar, unless that's where your truth lives. This is about claiming what shifted, taking the chaos, the fire, the emotion, the clarity, and sealing it with your own authority. It's about saying to the universe, I heard you, I'm here, I'm ready. And yes, even if you missed the 555 portal, even if you scrolled through Mercury's message or ignored the identity shift under Uranus, even if you numbed out in the silence, you can still recover the thread. You just have to do something real, something that means something. But for now, understand this. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Light something to mark your choice. Write something to release the past. Bury or burn what no longer belongs. And speak out loud the truth you've been afraid to live. Because what you ritualize, you realize. And this week, you earned it. Now seal it. And now we've come full circle. You've seen the signs, felt the shifts, and heard what most people will never stop long enough to notice. Don't let this just be another video you watched and forgot. Let it be the moment everything started to change, for real. If this stirred something in you, honor it. Like this video to anchor the energy. Subscribe if you're done drifting, and drop the number 77 in the comments to claim alignment, to help someone else find this message, and to remind the universe, you're awake now, and you're not going back to sleep.